Good atmosphere.
Okay, welcome to the Owensboro Board of Commissioners regular meeting, January the 16th, 2018. This time I'll ask City Clerk Beth Cecil to please call the roll.
Commissioner Jay Villada,
Here.
Commissioner Larry Conder,
Here.
Mayor Tom Watson,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Bob Glenn,
Here.
Commissioner Pam Smithwright.
Here.
All being here, please stand and for an invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. Please pray in a way that makes you most comfortable. O gracious and loving Father, we gather tonight as one to continue to provide a safe and loving environment to work, play, and raise our children. We're especially reflective today as we just celebrated Martin Luther King Jr. Day. His legacy is one we all should emulate and strive to meet him and all of us on the mountain someday, sooner than later. As he was quoted, if the world would go to pieces, I'd still plant my apple tree. And that is faith, faith in his fellow man. And with faith comes hope, and hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things. So as we navigate this world with all the noise, deciding which bridge to cross and which bridge to burn, keep in mind that we are all in this together. Please keep all those that keep us safe now, and know that we are grateful for all we have. I ask all of this in God's name.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you have to have a police escort to get in here today, Austin? Was that what the deal was? Okay. Item number 4 on the agenda is the business. Item 4A, consider the approval of minutes from January the 2nd, 2018. Could I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. We have no second readings on ordinances tonight. Item number 6, ordinance first reading. Mr. Ray, Counselor, City Manager Extraordinary.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 1-2018 is an ordinance revising the Employee Handbook, Policy 109, thereby reducing the age requirement for a firefighter applicant who has an associate's degree in fire rescue science technology from the Kentucky Community and Technical College System and certification as a nationally registered emergency medical technician. Introduced and publicly read on first reading January 16th, 2018.
Thank you, Mr. Ray. There'll be no vote. Do we have any discussion on that? Chief, are you talking about that tonight?
I'd love to, Mayor.
Oh, yeah, jump up there and state your name and address for the record then.
Mayor and Commissioner, Steve Mitchell, your fire chief, 512 West 9th, right down the road here. What this is, in the past, to be a police officer or firefighter, you had to be 21 by the time you were sworn in. State law doesn't allow you to differ with that with police officers, but it does allow you to differ with that as far as firefighters are concerned. So what this is the next step. Remember a couple years ago when we announced our high school program where you can now, if you're a senior in high school, you can enter the associate's degree program at KCTCS, in our case OCTC. We had 4 or 5 counties that signed on to that. So this is the next step of that. If you come out with your associate's degree, you have all this fire training, you're usually about 20 years old, but then you have to wait another full year before you can even test for us. So what we want to do is now add in an extra incentive for that program to say, if you go to OCTC either through the high school program or the regular program, come out with your fire service degree and your EMT, then we'll lower that you can be age 20 by the time you're sworn. So what's that mean? So our process, takes several months, and then it's 12 weeks of training. So somebody that's going to turn, say in 2018, turn 20 that has completed this program, say by July, but they're 19 now, they could go ahead and apply and go through the process as long as they turn 20 before they are sworn in. Any questions?
I wonder, what about the kids that, like last year, I gave out 10 community college diplomas before they got their high school diploma, and I know they're not going to be 20. Would they still have to wait, even
Yes,
though
they
they've got
would
an
have-
associate's degree? So those folks would still have to wait to be 20.
Wait until they're 20. So we're reducing it 1 year for that incentive.
Okay. Anybody else?
A quick question. Are there any duties of a firefighter that they'd be restricted from doing? You could hire them and maybe they could do some things. Is there anything based on being the magic number 21, they might not be able to be allowed to do due to state statute?
No, really, because on the EMT side, on the HIPAA side, and things like that, they've actually reduced that now to 18. So there won't be any problems with that.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome, Commissioner. Anybody else?
Mayor, if I could, just make one quick comment, and that is, in
Help
all...
yourself.
Thank you, Mayor. In all of the various departments, this is just another internal workforce development project, and we are finding it harder and harder to recruit. And so I applaud Chief in the way that he's going about this. And, as an example, it was only a few years ago that when we had testing for firefighters, we had the whole sports center that was there filled with applicants testing out. This last year, in our last testing, we had 25 that made it to the testing phase. So we need to do everything we can to recruit. So I appreciate your support on behalf of the chief and the rest of the fire department on this.
I guess you can say changing the pension had something to do with that then.
Well, I think there's a number of things. I think the biggest thing to do with it is the competitive job market. In the competitive job market, a piece of that is the pension. But whether you're one of our sanitation drivers, our police officers, our firefighters, our guys out there that are plowing, municipal work is a dangerous job. And, we have a lot of millennials coming back to Owensboro, and we seem to find a trend in that group, and it's not necessarily to public service. So we need to do everything we can to support our fire, police, and public works, parks, all of those programs.
And if I may add, Mayor.
Sure.
And one thing good about doing the incentive for this group, if they are going through, this is a hard program. So if they're taking the time and effort to go through this program, then we know this is what they want to do for a living.
Okie dokie. Thank you. All right, no votes. Item number 7, municipal order. Mr. Ray.
Municipal Order 1-2018 is a municipal order declaring the properties located at 2610 Cravens Avenue and 1405 Jackson Street as surplus property, and further authorizing the mayor to execute deeds transferring the properties for the purposes of economic development. Introduced and publicly read for approval in one reading, January 16th, 2018.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Ed, do you want to have any other discussion on this, Mr. Ray?
I would, Mayor.
It's not have anything to do with the pool, right?
Well, it could.
It could.
No.
All right.
This program, Abby's best to speak about, but what I want to basically say as an overview is that the single-family homes portion of what Abby does has such an impact in these neighborhoods. This is part of that. This is a partnership she has developed over time with Habitat for Humanity, who does the administrative piece, puts in both money, time, and all of the background information, everything they need to do to get a homeowner to build on these properties and to make that a reality. So this will be a partnership with Habitat. There were structures on those properties at one point in time. They've been torn down. They're ready to go, and this is just another way to build in each of those neighborhoods. If you have any very specific questions, Abby's here to address those.
Anything from the commission? Hearing none? Okay. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7B, Mr. Ray.
Municipal Order 2-2018 is a municipal order authorizing and directing the mayor to execute an application for a Kentucky Transportation Cabinet Office of Highway Safety grant in the approximate amount of $45,000, the proceeds of which will enable the Owensboro Police Department to provide overtime traffic enforcement of approximately 40 hours per month during the specific mobilizations within the city of Owensboro to enhance public safety. No cash match is being required by the city. This is introduced and publicly read for approval on one reading, January 16th, 2018.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion, Mr. Ray?
Just that, again, our police department's looking for every grant opportunity it possibly can. They've got 3 areas that they're going to concentrate on with this overtime. This averages out through the year to be 40 hours a month, and that is speeding, DUIs, and seat belts as their focus. And if you look at the numbers that are in their application over the last 4 years, they've really done a significant job in decreasing those, and this will continue to help that process.
Okay, does this also spike some of those guys' pension that get extra time?
Well, the extra time and enforcement's going to be part of their process anyway, but what will happen is that Josh is very in tune with all the different, that Josh is our personnel director, with the different spiking issues. And where we can, we definitely try to keep the spiking issue from affecting the application of our overtime in our police department. So the chief and Josh work very closely to control that.
Great. Okay, any discussion from the commissioners? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. City manager's item.
First,
8A, I'm sorry.
thank you. First, Mayor, if you would recognize Angela Hamrick to present the November
I
financials.
recognize Angela. Ms. Hamrick.
Yes, Mayor and Commission. The financial report for the City of Owensboro for the month ended November 30th, 2017. Our year-to-date revenues for general fund revenues through November 30th is $25,452,091. This is $749,256 over budget. This is primarily due to insurance premium license fee and property tax revenues and timing in our in lieu of taxes. Our general fund expenditures of $21,539,560 were $1,075,015 under budget, primarily due to savings in personnel and timing of maintenance and supplies. The revenues and expenditures in our other funds are in line with the year-to-date budget, with the following exceptions. Our Convention Center Operations Fund is under budget in revenues, and this is simply due to timing. The Sanitation Fund is under budget in capital outlay. This is also due to timing. The Transit Fund is under budget in federal and state grant revenues. This is also due to timing. If the city clerk wouldn't mind to pull up our chart, the bar chart. For the viewing audience, for reference, the green bar is our year-to-date revenues, which is July through November for the city, $23,482,460. Our actual revenues with the new rate is $25,452,091. Our general fund expenditures year-to-date is $21,539,560. The expenditures is in the red bar. What this means and what this boils down to is that our year-to-date surplus is $3,912,531. On the old rate, that surplus would have only been $1,942,900. And I would like to remind everyone that this is good news as far as the surplus goes, but this will not play out to have surplus every month, because our revenues and our expenditures are cyclical here at the city, and November is a very large revenue month due to our property tax collections.
We
If
can't
anyone
quit.
has-
We can't quit now. We quit now.
we still collect, but we can only collect what we bill, Mayor. So, and our collection rate's going very well, by the way. So, if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to try and answer.
Any questions from the commission? Commissioner Glenn.
So the notice for those who have not paid will be in the newspaper when? I know with all the weather, we've had some people are not even getting their newspaper, but I mean, that's our primary mode of communication. When does that go out? And how does
It's
that
scheduled
work?
to go in the paper the 21st of January.
And if they see themselves in that, they just come in, they want to get that settled, they'll just come into our ground floor office and deal with our staff. and take care
They
of it.
can call if they want to. We can
Okay.
take a credit card over the phone.
Okay.
Or they can mail it, or they can come by and pay, whichever method of payment they would like to do. Mhm.
So they've got options. Great, okay.
Mhm.
Because I had one person ask me about that.
Want to give them your cell phone or anything,
Yeah.
Commissioner Glenn? for them to call
Absolutely,
you?
yeah, and I'll send it to her.
Yeah, and the phone number, just for reference, is 270-687-8537. That's our tax department number.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Any other discussion from the commission? Anybody from the public? Okay, I will make a motion to file for audit. Please, could I have a second?
So, second.
Second? Moving second.
Second.
Okay, second. All right, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Okay, item number 8B, City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd ask the Commission to consider the following personnel appointments. Adam Wright, probationary, full-time, non-civil service appointment to the position of grounds manager, horticulturist, effective January 22nd, 2018. And Michael Royal, regular, full-time, non-civil service appointment to bus driver, dispatcher, effective January 23rd, 2018.
Could I hear a motion to approve, please?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion from the commission? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item number 8C, City Manager comments.
Just two things, Mayor, Commission. First, I wanted to let everybody know kind of what the activity has been over this last weekend as far as the storm response has been. We have been very active out there trying to make sure that those roads are clear and passable. And I think the Public Works Department has done an outstanding job. We have used over 560 tons of salt. We have used over almost 1,000 gallons of calcium chloride, and since Friday's event and then Monday's event, two very different snowstorms, we put in over 1,000 hours in cleaning the streets, and that has been tremendous given the very small staff that we're working with down in Public Works that are qualified CDL drivers. So if you see those plows, please stay behind them, give them some room to do their work. They'll be laying down salt again tonight and trying to clear and clean up some of the stuff that is still left on the streets tomorrow. But we've got a significant warm-up. But with that significant warm-up comes this weekend is those inlets. If you see an inlet that is covered up or is having problem taking and absorbing all the water that's going to rapidly, the snow that's going to rapidly melt, please let us know and we'll come out and look at those. The second item, Mayor, although we had really a weather issue there with getting people out to the sports center, the Thoroughbreds did play 2 games. They put on a heck of an entertaining and skill event. They're a lot of fun to watch. Their next home games are Friday, January 26th, and Saturday, January 27th. We'll have the information on our website. I encourage, especially if you had kids, to come out there and watch those guys play, because they are truly amazing to watch, and they're a lot of fun. And the new Sports Center is just a new atmosphere. If you haven't been there, come check it out. I think it's worth the wait. That's all I had, Mayor. Appreciate it.
All right, item number 9, communication from elected officials. Commissioner Pam Smith-Wright, please.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Just want to reiterate what Ed said about the Sports Center and the new thoroughbreds. I went to both games, and they are fun to watch, and we just need people to get out and support them, because, I mean, we're going to have the team here. We need people to support them. And just want to thank the NAACP and the Human Relations Commission and any of the other organizations that did something for Martin Luther King's celebration yesterday. It was really nice. So that's it.
Talent level is a lot better too, I thought, didn't you, Pam? I mean, those thoroughbreds,
Yeah.
it's a better brand of basketball than we had last year. I truly believe that. Commissioner Glenn.
I'd like to echo Commissioner Smith-Wright's comments, and again thank the Human Relations Commission and the NAACP for hosting 2 excellently organized and executed Martin Luther King commemoration events. In particular, if you didn't get to see the Zozo dancers, they were at the first event at Settle from Uganda. They were special. And then on the next day, at the HRC event at the community college, what was amazing was the Cravens kids, the young kids that came to sing. They were full of joy, and they were a delight to listen to. So, great event. I would just say, though, that as the weather, it's going to be very, very cold out, and I would say, again, take precautions for yourself. Have a safety kit in your car if you don't already have. Have one if you're going to drive anywhere of any great distance, blanket, stuff to eat, something to drink. Don't take a risk with your safety or your family's safety. Obviously, if you don't need to make the trip, don't do so. And then later this week, as Ed's indicated, when we have the rains, please be careful there, because that's going to be an entirely different challenge as the snow melts. So, but I do also want to thank our public works crew, Wayne, Shelton, and all those who've been out in this weather clearing the roads, and our sanitation crews. You just do, and our police and our fire. You're the A-team. That's all there is. There's nobody better. And thank you for your efforts on behalf of our city.
You going to say anything about how nice Commissioner Smith-Wright sang as well?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I apologize. You did a great job.
Commissioner Velada.
Just to echo what the other commissioners have said, and a special thanks to the Public Works folks. Got a message today from actually 2 messages from a couple of individuals that were very pleased that this is the first time in many years that their street has been plowed during an event, and they were very appreciative of that. So you guys are getting it done out there. Thank you for all your hard work and efforts, and thanks to the staff for working so hard. I know you guys have spent some time in here making sure that this city keeps running. So thanks everybody. Other than that, great time at the Sports Center the other night with the Thoroughbreds. They are an interesting team. It's fun to see professional basketball in that newly renovated Sports Center. It looks really good. So hats off to the folks for doing a great job. Blake and his crew run a class act. And other than that, Mayor, I'm just glad to be here. Thank you.
Recently renovated Sports Center, no less, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Commissioner Condor.
Thank you, Mayor. First, wanted to thank Lowe's for doing something very special this week. Harry at St. Benedict's also runs the homeless shelter for the veterans up that was just recently opened up. And I saw on Facebook that they needed a new stove, or needed a stove. So I called him and asked him, and basically he was just going to buy a consigned old used one. I thought, really, they deserve better than just old and used. So made a phone call to Lowe's, and they stepped up and delivered yesterday a brand new gas stove for the homeless vets out there. So thanks to Lowe's for really stepping up and doing something that's great for the community. The next thing that I'd like to mention, please, sir, is had a meeting with the convention, with the CVB, the Convention Visitor Bureau. A couple of topics of discussion, especially considering we're about to finish up a hotel across from Texas Roadhouse. Another one's planned for downtown, another one planned for Gateway Commons. What other avenues of engagement can we have with the CVB to help with things? One of the things that we talked about, for example, was Tapscott Corner, right at the corner of Frederick and Parrish. That corner, I believe, is maintained by the city, I think. And it was even brought up some time ago about that corner being utilized in some iconic way for signage that points you toward the sports center, our newly renovated sports center, or to downtown, or out towards Chautauqua Park.
There used to be a sign there that did that.
That did that actually, and it was taken.
Point you right to the sport.
Point to right to it. And could we do it again? You know, really that can be done. And if I understand though the state may still own that property, is that correct?
Yeah, city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, the state owns that, and we maintain it. There was originally a grant of funds years and years ago, and to maintain that as a park-like setting. But the issue really is the Department of Transportation, and the Transportation Cabinet, and whether or not they would allow something like that on that property. It has been attempted in the past. I know former Commissioner David Johnson really wanted a sign there too, and had some support for that, and ultimately that was denied by the state of Kentucky. Doesn't mean we can't, try again and see what comes of it.
Just a great, I think, hopefully a good project to do. The other issue was, and you hear this a lot now, since the state is basically on pause 50, doesn't have money to do much of anything, and as you see over the last 2 years, you see the bypass look like a hot mess out there sometimes.
Easy.
And it does, well, yeah, a little bit. And so that's the gateway into our community, right there. And for our visitors to look and to see that, where that maintenance is just bush hog twice a year, that's all it's done. Could we partner with the jail and or Davis County Physical Court to make that look just a little bit better? Just trim it up a little bit better to make it look good. And actually, Jailer Art Maglier sent an email today back that he is going to look into just see what would it cost. Can it be? Is it possible or feasible? So he's going to see if it is. Maybe we can have a little bit of better working relationship with the county and the state to be able to make it look better. So with that, Mayor, I'll leave it be and see if we can do something about these things.
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate you bringing those things out tonight. You sent me that 5-page text the other day, and I don't believe I got through all of it, but I appreciate you bringing it. I just have one comment. I want everybody to say a prayer for the Owensboro Catholic Middle School folks that are taking a bus tomorrow to Washington, D.C. for the March for Life, and we wish them safe travels and safe return. So, all right, item number 10 is open public forum. Oh, time out.
Were you going to say anything about the way Pam sang yesterday?
Oh.
The mayor sang too.
I was a little disappointed you didn't ask me to help you, so but you did just fine. I thought you were excellent. That's why I thought Bob, y'all been together like 20 years, so I thought maybe. But it was kind of fun, until a couple of people kind of got stirred up a little bit, made it. But we're going to go another direction. But item number 10. Open public forum. Anybody from the public would like to speak? Please come to the podium. You have 3 minutes. We all like to go home before it gets too cold. And state your name and address for the record, Mr. Zimmerman.
Bob Zimmerman, Owensboro. Yeah, I'll take the blame for lengthening the meeting.
For the weather? Okay, go ahead.
No. I'd just like to read an excerpt to my letter to the city.
Make sure you stay on the mic, okay, Bobby?
Okay.
So we can all get that on the record.
Right. In summary, I am simply seeking one small request of cooperation with the issues of alley closures, parking, and consolidation of tracks, these being nothing more than what the city has voluntarily offered 4 previous out-of-town owners from New York and Pennsylvania. that we all know exacerbated the appearance of the tower and did not have the best interests of Owensboro citizens in mind. The lack of cooperation by the city on these three issues will most assuredly place the death knell on the entire project, thus forcing a temporary postponement
Closer to the mic, Mr. Zimmerman.
to my planned development. If I may ask, is the commission prepared, given these constraints, to give an answer to my request?
Thank you, sir. Okay. Anybody else? What about you, city engineer? I mean, why won't they let you sit with the rest of the staff? I don't understand this.
I asked him that same question.
Okay. Hearing no more comments from the public, I'd like to say I miss my wife Barbara. She didn't come tonight because she's afraid to drive in the snow. So we'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, so move second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Be safe.